All right, let's talk about something that probably keeps a lot of you IT pros up at night. It's that nagging feeling, that little voice that makes you wonder if you're missing a key piece of the puzzle for your career. Okay, picture this. You look around the office, or maybe on your remote team, you see two people with almost identical tech skills, maybe they even have the same certifications, but one of them is just soaring, climbing that career ladder, while the other, well, they're kind of stuck. So what gives? I'm willing to bet you've seen this exact thing happen. On paper, they look exactly the same. Same certs, same programming languages, same deep technical know-how. But in reality, one person is leading those high-profile projects, getting the promotions, and the other just feels like they've hit a wall. It's this super frustrating paradox that leaves a lot of brilliant, talented people wondering what on earth they're missing. Now, let's be really clear about something. The old advice isn't wrong. Your technical skills are absolutely your ticket to the game. They get you that interview. They land you the job, no question about it. But, and this is the big secret, the thing that separates the good from the truly great, it's the smart skills that are going to fuel your career rocket. Seriously, these are the skills that decide your trajectory, how high and how fast you're going to climb. They are the missing piece of that puzzle we were just talking about. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to kick things off with that paradox, then we'll dive right into the foundational skills and what I call the execution toolkit. After that, we'll uncover the skills that act as legit career multipliers, and we'll wrap it all up with a simple blueprint so you can put all of this into action. Sound good? Let's start right at the bottom, with the bedrock. These are the skills that everything, and I mean everything else, is built on top of: communication and problem solving. First up, communication. And listen, let's get one thing straight right away. This has nothing to do with being an extrovert or being the loudest person in the meeting. It's all about one thing: clarity. For instance, can you explain a really complex server migration to someone in, say, the marketing department and not have their eyes totally glaze over? That right there, that's the superpower. You know, this George Bernard Shaw quote just hits the nail on the head. We've all been there, right? You explain something, everyone nods, and you move on. But if the other person didn't truly understand it, communication never actually happened. It was all just an illusion. I mean, that's a pretty powerful and kind of humbling thought, isn't it? And the other foundational skill is problem solving. And I'm not just talking about debugging a script. It's bigger than that. It's a whole mindset. It's about seeing any challenge, a technical glitch, a bottleneck in a workflow, you name it, and having that instinct to just break it down, hunt for the root cause, and start mapping out solutions. It's about debugging life. Okay, so with those foundations locked in, let's start building on top of them with what I like to call your execution toolkit. These are the practical, hands-on skills that determine how effectively you turn ideas into actual results, day in and day out. This toolkit has three essential pieces. First, you've got adaptability, because let's be real, when does a project ever go exactly to plan? Then there's time management, which is your secret weapon for cutting through all the noise to focus on the work that actually moves the needle. And finally, critical thinking. Think of it as your mental firewall, the thing that helps you question assumptions and stop costly mistakes before they even happen. You know, Darwin's famous insight, it's not just for biology class. It's the perfect way to describe a career in tech. The tools, the languages, the platforms you're using today, they might be totally obsolete in 5 years. Your ability to adapt, to roll with the punches, that's what guarantees your long-term success. All right, now we're getting to the really juicy stuff. These are the skills that don't just help you do your job well, they literally multiply your impact and put your career growth on the fast track. We're talking about the skills most people just gloss over while they're chasing the next big certification. But here's a secret. These are the skills that truly separate the solid, reliable team members from the undeniable leaders. And it all kicks off with emotional intelligence, or EQ. And let me tell you, this is a big one. Here's a hard truth for you. A massive number of IT projects don't fail because the tech was bad. They fail because of personality clashes, miscommunication, and team drama. In other words, people issues. EQ is the antidote to that. I mean, this line just says it all, doesn't it? Your technical smarts, your IQ, that gets you in the door. But your emotional intelligence, your EQ, your ability to work well with others, to handle stress, to really understand different points of view, that's what gets you noticed for those leadership roles. And to round out these career multipliers, let's talk about teamwork. Because honestly, that whole lone genius coder thing, it's pretty much a myth these days. Then you've got continuous learning, which is basically your career insurance policy in this industry. And finally, self-confidence. And I don't mean arrogance. I mean that quiet, solid belief in your own value that lets you speak up, take ownership, and really contribute. Okay, so we've laid out what these skills are. That's great. But the big question is, how do you actually start building them? Well, it's probably simpler than you think. Here is a simple 3-step plan. First, and seriously, this is the most important part. Please don't try to boil the ocean. Don't try to master all 10 of these skills by next Friday. You'll just burn out. Instead, start small. Just pick one skill to focus on for the next month. Maybe it's being a better listener in meetings. Once you feel like you've made some real progress, then pick another one for the next month. The whole goal here is gradual, sustainable growth. You know, this quote just captures that idea perfectly. Success isn't about one giant leap. It's about those small, consistent efforts you make every single day. They all add up and compound over time to build a really incredible career. At the end of the day, your career isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you actively build, and it's shaped by the skills you choose to work on. So the real question I want to leave you with is this: what will you start building today?